Governor Brian Kemp issued new guidance for daycare workers for when they should return and when they should quarantine after having a positive COVID-19 test result.
We know that many of you parents and caregivers still have a lot of questions over when or if you should send your kids to daycare. And this is just one of many topics our Aisha Howard spoke with to our 11 Alive medical correspondent, Dr. Sujatha Reddy.
What's your take just as a mom and a doctor when it relates to child care? How should we be looking at child care? This is a part of life. We can't keep them home in a bubble.
No, and I don't think it's always good to keep them home in a bubble. We know that those social interactions, that educational aspect, all of that is so important to your child's development. So I think keeping them in their school or, in their preschool is going to be key. I think you have to, do what's comfortable for you. You also have to look at your family situation. If you have somebody at home who's undergoing chemo, it may not be the best time to have your child, in a daycare situation for any virus, let alone, not just for coronavirus. I think if you have another child who has multiple medical issues, that also you have to be careful. But in general, if you have a healthy household, healthy child, I think you have to talk to the daycare or the preschool and find out what are they doing. I would hope all adults would be masked and vaccinated. We know in schools masking works. When you talk about really young kids, though, it's hard to get them to wear a mask. But in schools, it's been shown the masks do help keep the kids safe. So I hope the adults are wearing masks. Kids hopefully are trying to, or at least they're aware of it. And then I think, you have every right to know, are the providers vaccinated or not? And I think that could be important to you, because a vaccinated person is less likely to get your child sick.
Exactly. And so that's the thing. We are getting vaccinated to protect them. And I think that's the scary part for parents right now with Omicron. It's like it's impacting these kids who can't get vaccinated. So it's not even like, they got infected. Okay, it should be mild because you have the vaccine. You're kind of holding your breath, especially if they don't have it. My daughter's 1.
Yeah, but remember, again, the younger children are a lot less likely to have severe disease and symptoms from any coronavirus than an older person. So they're naturally going to be protected. But again, we've got to do everything we can, because that's our job as parents, to keep them safe. So when you're looking at your daycare or your preschool, I think you have you have the right to ask these questions. How many kids are there? How many adults are there? All those same kind of things I think you thought about when you first put them in that daycare, you may have to look at again. But I do think for most healthy families, healthy children, if it's done right, they can be in school, they can be in daycare.